Hey everybody, it's Dom from Lensprotogo and Lens Rentals, and welcome back to the channel. So I'm right in the middle of getting ready for a wedding video shoot later, and I figured what better time to drop everything I'm doing and make a video for the channel. So this is actually going to be a follow-up video to a blog post I wrote for the Lensprotogo website a couple of months ago about how to shoot a wedding video by yourself. So in that blog post, I listed the gear that I bring on solo wedding shoots, but I didn't really go into why I chose that gear. So I figured I'd make a quick follow-up video just focusing on the gear. This works out because I actually have all that gear that I mentioned in the blog post with me right now, and it double works out because I usually like to do a test shoot to make sure all my gear is working before a wedding shoot anyways. So it's like a win-win scenario. Getting right into it, if I'm shooting a wedding video solo, I'm always going to try to shoot on two cameras, and those are almost always going to be two Canon C100s. So I choose the C100s because they're nice and lightweight and they're actually comfortable to handle on an all-day shoot. Also, just in general, the C100 is very shootable, and I feel like it's really easy to get to know this camera from the inside and out. The internal NDs are a huge plus, and it actually has pretty decent low-light performance. And for a fairly compressed image, the video out of the C100 looks pretty great. Okay, moving on. I always shoot on two Sachtler Ace tripods. Now I go into this in the blog post a little bit, but it's really important to have a good video tripod if you're shooting event video solo, because you're going to rely on tripod shots pretty often. The Sachtler Ace is a perfect tripod for situations like that because it's super light and it's really easy to set up. Okay, so moving on to lenses, nothing groundbreaking here, but I use a Canon 24-70 and a Canon 70-200 f2.8. So this combination of lenses is pretty commonplace for wedding videography, and I know why. Having that 24-200 millimeter focal length range covered all in f2.8 is pretty ideal. Also, I know this lens is mainly a photo lens, but I can't help but feel that it was made for the C100. It just balances it out perfectly, and it is so compatible with this camera. Honestly, this lens puts in a lot of work in my wedding videos. Next, the lens I really wanted to talk about was the Sigma Art 18-35 f1.8. This is a great lens to have for low light scenarios like the reception. A lot of the time, I keep this lens on my A camera for the entire end of the night because the reception shots are usually going to be darker and better captured wide anyways. Okay, moving on to sound. For a wedding video, I always bring a lav kit, and in this case, it's the Sennheiser G4 kit. So I'm using the G4 lav kit to record this video right now, and I choose it because it has great bandwidth, and I hardly ever have problems with it. So today, I'm going to use that lav to mic up the groom before the ceremony, and most of the time, that's going to be able to capture both of the couple's voices during their vows. Okay, so the last thing I want to mention is very important but very underrated, and that is a hard rolling case, which I'm sitting on right now. So typically when I'm shooting a wedding video, I'm gonna try to have one camera built and then everything else, with the exception of the tripods, in this hard case. That is going to allow me to be so much more mobile if the day has a lot of moving parts. And thankfully today's wedding doesn't, but the wedding I was writing about in that blog post certainly did, and if I didn't have a hard case to put everything in, I would have been seriously behind. Okay, so that pretty much wraps it up for this single shooter wedding video gear breakdown. I have to go finish getting ready or I'm gonna be late. So if you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more weekly content. And we'll see you in the next one.